Hey y'all, thank y'all for joining. Happy Saturday to everyone. Let's get into the show. Got a quick Saturday pop in. I hope you guys are going to be out and about today enjoying the weather. Looks like it's going to be a nice one out there. So, yes, honey, let's get this tea and then let's get on out there in them streets so we can enjoy this good weather. This is Easter weekend. So, I hope you guys y'all going to get y'all little kitten heels, honey, and y'all little patent leather belts and y'all little Easter dresses and whatnot. Some of y'all asses ain't been to church all year. Y'all gonna be at church tomorrow and they're faking and shouting and carrying on. But we're gonna go ahead and get into this damn show so y'all can go on and get y'all outfits and go on and then hold these folk church up, child. Let's get into the show. Now let me stop. That's a good thing. If you're going to church, it's a good thing, okay? We ain't gonna never talk negative about it. If you try to go to church, if you ain't never been all year, child. Yes, honey. Not with the EJ. What she say with EJ Johnson? Yes, child. Them EJ Johnson kitten heels, baby. In there tap click clacking around up in the people church. Okay. Trying to go get up on the choir stand. Ain't been there all year. But let's get into the show, shall we? Of course, everything said in the video is alleged and in my opinion and is used for fair use and entertainment. Thank y'all for being here. So let's get into the first topic. Let's get this Pooh Shiesty update, and then we're gonna get off of it. Y'all know Pooh Shiesty and his homies were involved in robbing rapper Gucci Mane. All right, at the studio, they went there and pretended like they were getting ready to have him or have a meeting with him about a contract. They had some paperwork they wanted him to sign, and they pulled weapons on him to try to force him into signing off on changing his contract. I think it was. Excuse me, y'all. And it backfired on them because everything was caught on camera, and every one of them have charges pressed against them. They still have one person at large that they are looking for to arrest. But let's get into this update on Pooh Shiesty. Said that was quick. The judge assigns Pooh Shiesty's father, Lontrell Williams Sr., to strict house arrest at the bond hearing in Gucci Mane's kidnapping case, only allowed to leave for court. I'll go ahead and put my trigger up just in case we run across some craziness. All right, let's get into it. Let's go.
A judge will decide if men charged in alleged kidnapping and robbery involving Memphis rapper Pooh Shiesty will be released pending trial. The factors that the judge will consider include criminal history, flight risk, and whether they have means to pay their bail. Fox 13's investigative reporter Kayla Solomon joins us live from federal court downtown. Kayla, that hearing, in fact, just wrapped up.
Darcy, is actually still going on, heading into hour 4 at this point. But we were able to get a bond assigned for Lontrell Williams Sr., the father of Pooh Shiesty. The judge ultimately decided she's going to assign him a home incarceration.
Damn, that was quick. Like, they literally just arrested him, what, day before yesterday? Y'all mean to tell me DL Whisper been sitting in jail for months and he can't even get a court date, and these niggas already got a court date already? Damn, who Gucci Man know inside? He must have been snitching like hell on these dudes. Let's continue.
Which she says is the strictest bond she can assign outside of giving him or granting him into federal custody. She said the only time he is allowed to leave his home is to attend his court dates in Dallas, where this case will ultimately be tried. And she said he'll be
a judge will
electronic monitoring while this all plays out. Electronic monitoring.
Child, imagine can't leave the house only to go to court, right? Damn. So it said the Pooh Shiesty's father, Lontrell Williams Sr., has reportedly been given a bond in connection to the Gucci Mane kidnapping and robbery case. Now, according to the court dates or updates rather by Fox 13 Memphis, it says that the judge granted Williams Sr. home incarceration, which is the strictest form of bond outside of being locked up. He's only allowed to leave his home to travel to and from court in Dallas, where the case is being handled, and says that prosecutors allege that Williams Sr. played a role in setting things up, claiming that he booked the recording studio where it all went down and helped his son try to get the victim identified as RD to sign over a contract released during the incident. Okay, and we're gonna look at one of Gucci Mane's other artists that talks about how she was in a effed up contract with him as well. I told you guys several of his artists have been talking about how they got trapped in several of contracts with him that weren't great contracts. But again, you got to get in there and read your stuff, or get an attorney to read it and break it down to you so you can understand and not be so quick to want to be famous or take the little bit of money that they're giving you up front with your little contract, thinking that you're going somewhere when you're getting stuck in these 50-50 contracts or even worse. Says as of now, he'll remain on strict house arrest while the case progresses. Okay. So I think that's good because they could have had him sitting in jail. They could have had him sitting in jail. So at least he got house arrest. He still has a chance to be at home in the comfort of his home versus on a hard ass bed in jail. So DOJ complaint claims that Gucci identified Pooh as a suspect. Now, Gucci Man did go live and say he was not cooperating with the feds. I highly doubt that. If somebody robbed you, took your wedding ring and expensive watches and other things like that and threatened your life, I would think that you would definitely cooperate. If you're doing it, it's probably off the record, to where they probably don't even know you cooperate. But I do feel like Gucci Man is definitely cooperating. Okay. But that's the update on that. So let's get into this Gucci Man. One of his artists who was signed to him, she's actually speaking out as well. I'll leave the trigger up just in case she slip up and say something crazy, child, because you never know in this. So former 1017 artist K Sade claims that Pooh Shiesty, Big Scar, these got some crazy names. Oh my God, and Fujiani have been at odds with Gucci Man since their initial signings. Let's get into it.
I'd be mad too if won't let me out my contract. Y'all painting a picture out to make it seem like it's a curse with Gucci. There ain't no curse with Gucci. Everybody chose their own fate. 2 of my goddamn label mates is gone. Y'all got so many opinions, but y'all don't even know that Fujiano and Pooh Shiesty and Scar was beefing with Gucci the entire time. It was the back and forth of who leaving the label and who want to stay and come back and give me your chain, or no, you can have your chain. Like, it ain't even about reading your contract. Everybody wanted respect. It was really no team with 1017 to where we had people that was really there. I'd be mad too if won't let me out my contract. Y'all painting a picture out to make it seem like it's a curse with Gucci. There ain't no curse with Gucci. Everybody chose their own fate. 2 of my goddamn label mates is.
So she's saying it's not a curse with Gucci, but why is it that so many artists that Gucci signed have something to say about the contracts that they actually signed with him? They're not happy with it. They're fighting with it. They want to be out of the contracts, but it's given that he has them locked in contracts. Sound like Diddy. He must have sat up under Diddy when it came to these damn contracts with his artists. Because y'all know a lot of artists that came up under Bad Boy, they weren't happy with their contracts either, and they didn't even get paid for a lot of music and performances and stuff, and even tours that they went on under Bad Boy. So the record industry is a very dirty industry, but you got to have your legal shit together so that you don't get got out here, because that's exactly what you would. They'll see you as vulnerable. They see you as a hungry artist, and you want to get in the game, and you don't even think about all of the legalities that's attached to it. And they give you that advance money, and they know you broke and ain't got shit going on. They give you that little advance money, and you just be like, oh my God, I got some money. Not even realizing that's just their way of reeling you in and making you feel like you winning when really you losing after you sign that contract. So make sure if you are trying to be in the industry, or somebody's trying to sign you, get you an attorney. And if they tell you not to, hey, you don't have to have an attorney to read this, that's the first red flag, okay? Yeah, that's the first red flag. If you're trying to sign with someone and they're trying to keep you from or talk you out of having an attorney read over the paperwork, you probably don't want to sign with them, because there's something in there that they don't want a person with a trained eye to be able to see. All right, so don't be so quick to be signing off on stuff. But what do y'all think about that? Let's move along. Trick Daddy's performance, child. Lord, they done up and kicked him up out of there. Let's take the trigger down. We don't need it. Let's get Trick Daddy up here. This little burnt seal running around here. It's a little burnt seal, honey. I don't know. So let's see. Trick Daddy's performance at the Alpha Kappa Alpha conference gets shut down after attendees walk out due to his explicit lyrics. Regional director issues a statement, says that our requirements were ignored. It was disrespectful to our organization and brand. You know, whenever, depending on where you perform, and he's been in the game for a minute, so depending on where you're performing, like even if you're performing for kids or kids are going to be there, you have to make sure that you dumb your lyrics down to where you're not saying exactly what's on the album, especially if it's very explicit, where you're talking under women's clothes. And y'all know how some of these rap songs be like, oh my God, it can be real grimy. So if you're on a campus, a college campus, obviously if you have people like the regional director there and important people like that, you don't want to be up there saying nasty stuff and every other word, bitch this, hold that. Like that's just not it. So they kicked his ass from up out of there. Let's get into what they're saying here. Shout out to Neighborhood Talk.
Hey man, I flew out to Orlando to see Trick Daddy Put him up. Put him up. Put him up. Put him up. Put him up.
Who is that?
No, who is that?
Man, this is not the trick that they're about to give my mother a heart attack.
He said he want his damn money back. I know that's right.
What did he say?
Okay, so they're playing music. The people are just not feeling it. Look at people walking out because they're not
What's
happy.
going on?
This motherfucker.
What did he say?
You all my ladies run this motherfucker.
What? Everybody.
That's what you don't need to be doing, Trick. Now, if you just at a regular concert, you are literally where adult grown women, like business women, different constituents are in the audience, and you up here talking like you are literally at an underground performance. Like, no, did y'all see the amount of people that were walking up out of there? They were like, yeah, we done had enough of this shit. Like, that is just so ratchet and grimy. Oh my God. And people saying, yeah, I want my money back. So they said the language, the lyrics, and the comments made by the artist were not acceptable. I ended the performance because of the disrespect of our organization and for our brand. I know that shit, right? Let's see if we
Everybody in here 60 years old. What is he talking about?
All right, so let's go ahead and read what they had to say, because child, the Kappas were not feeling his ass. So let's get into it. So it says, to my sisters who are attending the 73rd South Atlantic Regional Conference, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority, okay, which is they are known as the AKAs, Incorporated South Atlantic Region, contracted Trick Daddy, a rapper from Miami, to perform a selected list of songs after our step and scroll competition on Friday night. Said that we met several times with him and his team to detail our requirements, including attire, language, and specific songs. So he already knew prior to getting on stage what the expectation was, what he could say, not say. So he knew prior to getting on stage that he needed to dumb his performance down and still perform his songs. But he got up there, he was cursing, explicit language, and totally disregarded their rules and regulations for his performance. So unfortunately, our requirements were ignored. It says the language, the lyrics, the comments made by the artist were not acceptable. I ended the performance because of the disrespect for our organization and for our brand. It says our step teams represented the creativity and discipline and excellence that make our sisterhood proud. And I regret this performance distracted from that experience. Says, thank you, my sisters, for extending grace and for continuing to hold the standards of dignity that define Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated and the South Atlanta region. Y'all should have got somebody like Shaka Khan or somebody to get up there and perform, okay? Or somebody, I don't know, somebody that's definitely going to or knows how to be professional in their performance and not get up there like Trick Daddy, who don't know how to do nothing but burn up some damn food and talk a bunch of shit and be disrespectful towards women. That's all he does, right? I don't even know who thought to even have him perform. That's the crazy part. But Tiffany Moore Russell, which is the Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated South Atlanta Regional Director, she's the one who wrote this statement about Trick Daddy being kicked out. So people literally walked the hell up out of there, and they finally just had to shut it down because it was too damn ratchet. So Trick Daddy, you messed your bag up, sir. Let's get on into this next topic with Simon and Porsha. Honey, a judge has finally let Simon ass know, let this mess go with this erectile dysfunction case that he keeps trying to regurgitate with Porsha. Y'all heard me talk about the other day where he says he's trying to bring that case back. He wants to reopen that case where he says that he thought Porsha, or he feels that Porsha was mentioning him and saying that he had erectile dysfunction when Porsha didn't even say his name when she made that statement. But let's get into it. According to the Peach Report, it says that Porsha Williams' battle with ex-Simon over erectile dysfunction ends. The Real Housewives of Atlanta star Porsha Williams' legal battle with ex-husband Simon Guobadia has been dismissed. We talked about that the other day. So let's get into what the Peach Report is saying. A Georgia judge has finally granted Simon Guobadia's request to dismiss the lawsuit that he brought against ex-wife Porsha back in 2024, as we know. Now, in his order dismissing the case, the judge warned that if Guobadia tries to revive the case in the future, he'll be on the hook for Williams's legal fees. So saying, hey, you're going to open this case up again, you're going to be, because he wanted her to pay the legal fees initially when he filed this case. And Porsha was like, look, you got me having to pay all this shit out. I can't even pay the mortgage where I'm staying. Like, she has a lot of other things financially that she's trying to take care of. So he's literally trying to break her. He's filing all these egregious, frivolous lawsuits against her. as a means to keep harassing her and to keep her in court, because he's bitter that one, she filed for divorce, embarrassed him. He lost his home, and she still got to keep the Rolls Royce that he purchased for her for like a gift. And the judge said that she could keep it. And that he had to turn over all paperwork and everything else as required to the car, because she couldn't even get the tags and stuff renewed because Simon would not give her the paperwork or turn the car over to her. Right? Don't buy me no damn gift and keep it in your name. We ain't about to play them games. He knew exactly what he was doing. Right? Don't buy me no Rolls Royce and keep it in your name, and then we break up and I can't renew the tag. That's the type of shit he was on. So it says, as previously reported by TMZ, Gubati filed a lawsuit against Williams in 2024 over a series of social media posts that she made about erectile dysfunction. He claimed that Williams's post made it appear that she was talking about him. Gubati then demanded damages for the alleged harm to his reputation, but how when she never said your name? We said that the other day. So Porsha denied that the post referenced a different ex, and says that she did not allude to the fact that the posts were about him. Again, it could have been anybody that she either dated or was married to. I feel like when Simon spoke out, maybe it's like a hurt dog hollering, right? Like maybe she ran over your damn toe. Maybe she kicked you up the ass, and then you kind of spoke out on your own issues in the bedroom. Okay, she never said your name. So it said Porsha denied that the post referenced him. Let's continue. Says earlier this year, Simon asked that the case be dismissed due to his inability to attend the trial because he was deported from the United States in late 2025. Porsha agreed that the case should be dismissed, but demanded the bills she racked up defending herself be covered by Simon. So what y'all think about that? So hopefully he don't open this bullshit back up, because again, defamation lawsuits, as I keep saying, those are very hard to prove. Like you have to have very, very concrete evidence against said person from what they said, what they did, the harassment, whatever the case, threats, anything like that that you are alleging that said person may have said against you, or that you're alleging. You got to have concrete proof on that. And if you can't prove it, they're going to throw that shit out. Those are the hardest cases to prove in court. Like the hardest, and they are very, very strict and direct as related to that. So Simon, please go away. I did talk to you guys a while back about Simon possibly dating this new young girl. So my thing is, why are you still reaching for Porsha? Why are you still coming for Porsha over some old beef? Like he is just he cannot let go. Oh my God, you remind me of somebody else. My God. But let's get into this next post, child. Cam Newton says that he does not allow his kids to think on their own in his house. He says, in my house, hell no, they don't. So that's not a great way to raise your kids, because you want them to be independent as far as the way they think, how they move in life, and just period, just be independent kids. You don't want them to feel like they're slaves or mental slaves in your home, to where everything that you say is the law. Now, granted, you are the parent and they do have to respect you. But I don't know what the hell is going on with Cam Newton. Let's get into this. So Cam Newton and Kendra G had a debate about parenting, with Kendra arguing that children are still humans with free will and should be able to think for themselves. I agree. Said that Cam pushed back, saying that his kids aren't equipped to make their own decisions and need structure, making it clear that in his house, he thinks for them. I don't like that.
If I don't meet the right guy and I never become a mom in that way, I'm cool.
Okay.
I'm cool.
Can he have children?
So here's the deal on that. I don't mind one, maybe two. I don't think I could do past two, but because I'll take that way. If he was a married man, I'm 46 now, right? So if he's married, he came from a woman, they had 3 children, something happened. Like, I'm not gonna be pinhole to that. I can't date a man with 9, Cam. I'm out.
Have you ever been approached by a guy?
I've been approached. Let me tell you something.
That has 9 kids?
I've been approached by a man that had 4 kids. I've been approached by a man that had 7 kids. Mm-hmm. I had approached by a man that had 8 kids. Mm-hmm. First and last date. I can't do it. And I'm not mad at anybody that can, but that's a lot of energy you have to take in, because here's how I do feel. If I'm taking you, I'm taking all of you. So it's not just about the 9 children. It's about the mothers of the children. Yeah. They might have a cousin, and now, he was over Kendra G house, and it's a lot that comes, because I do feel as though if you sign up with a person, you sign up for that person. Yeah. So what they come with is what you come with.
I do think you're projecting a little bit.
Protected in what way?
It's that the example that you gave was that ain't my mama.
That the kids say?
Yeah, like I don't like one of them kids ain't gonna like me.
You think that all 9 kids are gonna like your new girlfriend?
Well, as the adult, there's certain things that you instill in your children as respect.
Yeah, but you can't control your children.
Who can't?
The children is a human. They have the right to be themselves. So
under my house,
under
you have to understand.
So you think for them?
Parents, yes, you have to.
You can have so this is what I feel as though is this.
I don't agree with that.
You can teach your children respect,
Right.
but their emotions belong to them.
Yeah. And this is why this is going back to the first question.
Okay.
It's like you're telling me how a children is supposed to be raised, and you don't have children.
But I was raised as a child. What does that mean?
No, I understand that respectfully.
Mm-hmm.
This is where I check out.
But real quick, I'm not telling you how to raise children.
Yeah, but we're having a conversation about so your children don't think on their own. I'm telling you, hell no, they don't. Not while they're in my house. Because if it's up to my kids, they're eating Skittles every night. They're eating gummy bears every night. And certain things is to say, like, no, we're not going to do that. You're going to eat this because it's nurturing to your body. And that's a food example. Mm-hmm. But you're saying that you want to stay up and play video games all day, but we have to work on your literacy. You may not want to read your book. You may not want to go to tutoring. You may not want to go to school. But hey, yes, I'm thinking for you. I'm telling you that, no, I'm not negotiating with you. You're not staying in this bed, sweetheart. You're not staying in this bed. So I'm thinking for you because I'm 36. You're 6. I'm 36. You're 8. I'm 36. You're 20.
If I don't meet the right guy and I never become a mom,
I'm gonna be honest now. I kind of get what he's saying. I think his delivery is kind of off, right? You do have to make sure that your kids are doing what they're supposed to do in terms of school, eating the proper foods and stuff like that. Of course, you're not gonna allow your kids to sit around all day and eat Skittles when they should be eating broccoli, beans, and some type of protein and whatnot. Getting up and getting the proper exercise, all of that stuff. I get it. You got to make sure they do homework and not allow them to sit around just watch TV all day and be just lazy. Now, in terms of making a child like somebody that you choose to date, you can never do that, right? They can respect them as an adult, but in terms of making them like somebody that you choose, like with all due respect, Cam, you do have like how many kids you got? About 8 or 9 or 10 kids, like with multiple different women. And one of his girlfriends just had another baby. So it's kind of difficult. And miss me with this. And I get it that he's trying to be in his kid's life, but all of your kids don't live under the same roof. Okay. All your kids do not live under the same roof. So respectfully, and you have daughters. So how do you tell your daughters that it's okay to for a man to impregnate you, and then that same man go and impregnate 5, 6, 7, 8 other women, and that is okay? Like, it's not okay. Like, I feel like he kind of get it when it comes to him dishing it out on others, but then for him to see it when it comes when it's on him and how he's kind of needing to correct the error of his ways and the things that he's doing is kind of messed up. He don't see it because obviously you have some narc tendencies. Cam Newton, okay, he's very one-sided in his beliefs, and he's very one-sided in just reality, period. I just don't understand how a person can sit with him on a podcast and just go back and forth with him because he's very stuck in his mental world that he's in, right? It's weird to me. I don't understand. And then he was saying he wanted to have more kids in another interview and not necessarily be with one woman because he felt like, hey, he says he's put on this earth to reproduce, but with different women. How would you feel if a man impregnated your daughter and left her with a child and then went to the next woman and did it? But then it's okay for you to have that mindset. I just don't understand.
And that way, I'm cool.
Okay.
I'm cool.
Can he have children?
I don't get it, child. Y'all let me know. That's the most controversial bullshit I've ever heard in my life. Let's get into this Cardi B news, honey. So word on curb is that Cardi B and Offset have quietly divorced. Let's get into that. I found this post. And if I turn out to be wrong, I can always come back and edit my post. But this is what's being reported here, where it says that Cardi B and Offset's divorce is finally finalized. It said that she did the Hakimi move. It said that Cardi B is officially single now and richer. You guys know she's selling out on her tour. So she's doing very well. It said that the divorce is finalized and Offset walks away with nowhere near half of her $130 million fortune, according to what they're saying. Now, they said that the smart play is that Cardi reportedly kept most of her money with her mother, like maybe in her name, so that Offset could not touch it. That's smart. A lot of people are doing that. I mean, Diddy did it with his mama, so that different people that came at him trying to sue him, they couldn't get the money. It says that an Offset, so the same strategy that Hakimi used. It says that Offset tried to fix things after her split with Stefan, and I remember that because I reported it. He was trying to reach out to Cardi and wanting to fix their marriage, and she said no, thank God, because he's very disrespectful. But Cardi, of course, was not having that. They said that the result is that peaceful co-parenting, no massive payout, and Cardi leaving court happy and ready for a fresh start. So Offset fails to become the first man to win half of a woman's net worth after a divorce. So they send it quietly divorced, and that's from the the Davenport Review, which is who initially reported it. So shout out to them, okay? And shout out to Zaire 6K for posting it. What y'all think about it? That's good for Cardi. So it sounds like she may have had to pay him some money, but not the amount he was seeking. Because y'all know he wanted her to pay all his back taxes and all of that. And nigga was like damn near broke. He was in a casino day after day, trying to hit big or win something. And it was just not working out for him. It was not working out for him. All right, so let's get into this last post. OWN has dropped another clip, and we're going to take a look at it. It said that 3 emojis can speak 1,000 words. Let's see what they're saying here. Y'all know Love and Marriage Huntsville does air on Saturday nights on the channel OWN. I will not be watching, but any clips that I see deemable to talk about, I will talk about and share here on my channel. But let's get into this Love and Marriage Huntsville clip here on OWN.
Not too long ago, I had posted a photo, and there was a comment that kind of caught me off guard, right? Who is she? Trish. Okay. And of course, the comment was a little bit, I feel like, inappropriate. I mean, now tell me if I'm reading too deep into this.
That's actually the tasty emoji.
What's the tasty? See, telling me something. I didn't know what that means. I know what it means, but I just...
So that
means
she want to taste them?
Ooh.
In the sense, that's kind of what it's implying. That emoji usually implies that.
Right. Trish?
Well, not too long ago, I had posted a photo, and
Trish, maybe she was on her get back as related to Ken, admitting that he was in the DMs with other women. And of course, you guys know that they are no longer together. I just showed y'all the video the other day where Ken said on his own Instagram, where he was on a podcast interview, he did admit that as of 3 months ago that he and Trish officially called it quits. They are no longer together. He is a single man. So Trish, it looks like she's been trying to move on to the next Love and Marriage Huntsville castmate, because she's already been with Martell. Now you're dating, you were dating Ken. Now you're trying to move on to Nell's son, who is said to be your cousin, because she did say on the show that Nell and Chris were her cousins, right? I don't know, child. But so now you hopping in the DMs of Nell's son and trying to flirt with him and putting tasty emoji. She's an emoji queen, because didn't she hop in Ken's DMs and be putting chocolate emojis because she was flirting with him? And now you're over here in Lance's DMs posting tasteful emojis, like talking about, I guess you indirectly want to taste him, or you want to have some type of interaction, maybe sexually with him. I think Trish needs to get somewhere and sit the hell down. Like, you haven't even healed. You literally just got out of a relationship with Ken, and you shouldn't even been in that relationship. But now you're moving on to the next victim, because that's exactly what you about to be. Moving on with Lance, who y'all know don't stay with nobody, which Lance is currently dating someone. He's in an exclusive relationship. I shared that here. If you guys go on his Instagram, the new girlfriend is all over his page. They're booed up. They just took some recent pictures for Valentine's Day and some other event. She's on there cooking for him. Like, they seem like they are really into each other. So I'm not sure what Trish was hoping to accomplish by hopping in his DMs and putting these tasty emojis to Lance, who is said to be somewhere down the line on her family tree by way of, I think, Chris Fletcher. I think she said that she's related to Chris by way of family or by cousins or something like that, which then that would still make, even though Chris Fletcher is not biologically Lance Fletcher's biological father. I mean, he's still acting as a father, and it's too close for comfort. You guys are all filming together. Are the picking slim in Huntsville where they don't have enough men that you got to be dating somebody that you got to work with and see every day, and that's close to someone that you call friend? Like, that's weird. That is weird. I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that though. But he felt a way about it.
There was a comment that kind of caught me off guard, right? Who is she? Trish. Okay. And of course the comment was a little bit, I feel like, inappropriate.
I mean, now tell me if I'm reading too deep into this.
That's actually the tasty emoji.
What's the tasty? See, telling me something. I didn't know what that means. I mean, I know what it means, but I just... So that means she want to taste them?
In the sense, that's kind of what it's implying. That emoji usually implies that.
Well, not too long ago, I had...
So Trish. Now you sent up that question in Ken about him about rumors of Tisha telling you there were rumors that he was hopping in women's DMs and trying to talk to other women. But look at you, all in the DMs trying to holler at Lance. Okay, Lance is not a bad looking guy, but again, it's like it's too close for comfort, right? And you know, Trish will lie in a minute, honey, like she did with Martell, saying, "Oh, I didn't go to his house. I never went to his house." But then you later said you went there twice. So I don't be believing nothing she say, but that is it and all for this video. Please sound off on all the topics we discussed and let me know what y'all think about them. I'll be responding accordingly. Thank you to my top flight mods, Rose Armstead, True TV Podcast, and Tiffany Thomas for modding, doing an awesome job. I appreciate it. Thank you to all the content creators that joined this live, as well as all my Caramellians who joined the live, as well as in the bushes. Thank you guys so much for being here. Again, please make sure your notifications on so you guys will know when we go live. And of course, also check out Rails World and like this video so we can push it into the algorithm. All right. Until the next video, let's get out of here. Bye.